Okay, we're going to move on to our second speaker of the day, and he's none other than Mr. Tu Ka Leong. He's the innovation manager at Schroders. Now, Ka Leong has over 15 years of professional experience, right, focusing on the R&D of technology, and he currently manages the innovation pillar within the operations and innovation team at Schroders. Right, it's led out of Singapore and supported by staff based in UK and I believe Indonesia regional offices. Right, and the operations innovation team was established in 2017 as a driver to deliver RPA, which I believe is a robotic process automation, as well as intelligent automation for all business units within Schroders. So you kind of get the theme of what they were looking for. And I'd like to highlight that Ka Leong, right, is listed as an inventor for 3 patents granted by the US Patent and Trademark Office. So he is an inventor, okay? So don't tekan him, guys. Yeah. So the challenge, right, issued by Ka Leong is titled Automated Data Parsing, Extraction, and Analysis Tool for Asset Management. And I think it basically is about trying to extract the right information from a variety of documents. Please let me know if I'm wrong, Ka Leong. Over to you, Ka Leong. Take it away.
Sure. Thank you, Billy. Thank you. So just let me share my screen, and I just want to make sure that, can everyone see my screen? Is everything okay? All right. Thank you, Billy, for the introduction. Good afternoon, everyone. So Ka Leong here from Schroders, and Schroders as we are part of IMAS as well. Naturally, we're an asset management firm. We are headquartered in UK, whereas Singapore is actually the regional headquarters, and we do have offices that span across Singapore, Japan, Taiwan, China, Australia, Indonesia, and a couple of other countries as well. But thanks for the introduction on what our team does and what it covers. So very quickly, let me just focus a bit, spend a bit time on our team. So we are called Operations Innovation. So we are the innovation within Schroders that I'm hearing a bit of echo. Okay, thank you. So we deal with innovation within Schroders itself, and our objective is to really deliver solution that helps the business with their business processes, to look at how new technologies, new solutions can be brought in, how we can enable business to run more effectively, more efficiently, and to really enable our processes, whether it's upstream, downstream, end-to-end throughout the business, to really have take advantage of what technology is able to provide us now. So really a quick overview in terms of what our team have achieved since in 2020. RPA is a very huge part of our team. It's the foundation at which our team was built upon to really introduce automation. We have benefits in terms from monetary to cost avoidance. We have also done up training for the teams, and like what Billy shared, for the Ops Innovation team, we are headquartered in Singapore, but we do have teams representing us in Indonesia, London, and Zurich as well. So from there, let's move on quickly to the challenge today. So just a very simple little exercise or to get us started on this. So when you see this picture, what do you see? Do you think you are seeing a duck, or are you seeing a rabbit? And just another picture, this is something we see very often at the start of the year. The first 3 words you see will be what you get, etc., etc. Well, first word I say food. I mean, I'm Singaporean. We are here in Singapore. Food is a very huge aspect of our culture. For those that are more on the other side of things, or the other common topics, you'll see things like peace, freedom, happiness. And in such diagrams and pictures, actually, we all know there are actually a lot of words in there. And what I'm trying to get to here is that when we look at such diagrams and pictures and images, we see what we want to see. We all know what because each one of us, there's a certain kind of we are wired to think in a certain way, and this actually translates into how we do business processes. Because when we are working most of the time, when presented with a document or a piece of information, we read it based on our specialization and how and what are the information that we want to search for. So for example, what is shown here is a product highlight sheet. It's a regulated piece of document. It's something that we have to produce. And whether if you're coming in from marketing, from product team, legal, compliance, even regulators, each one of us, if we are wearing a different hat, when you look at the document, you zoom in into the area that is specific for you for your interest. Because every business groups have your own interest areas. Compliance, they need to make sure that everything we said, all the disclaimers are there, it's all covered. Marketing will check to make sure all the branding, all the terminologies are all updated in compliance with our global standards. Legal, I mean, lawyers, they will come in to make sure all the terms, especially on new clauses or specific clauses, are actually checked against. And if you think about it, when you are doing a actual manual work on this, how would a human perform this? Open the document. If it's a regular document, you open it, you will scroll down to where you want to find it, you zoom in and read through. But if something net new or something has changed, we have our best friend, Control F. All of us would have used Control F, we know what keywords we are looking for, we zoom in, we search for it, then that's how we check through as well. So that is how manual processes work for documents. I'm just going to very quickly go through an example of what our team has done for Schroders, for our legal colleagues in relation to the LIBOR transition. So quick background, LIBOR stands for London Interbank Offer Rate, similar to SIBOR. And from January 2022, it will stop, the publication of LIBOR will cease. And what happened or what was required was that the legal team in Schroders, they needed to review over 9,000 legal documents to identify which are the documents that are impacted by LIBOR transition, and they need to get this done in a timely manner because they need to do the renegotiations and updates of the agreement with the client. In our discussions with them, they have over 60 such terms because it's legal, you know how they think, you know how they search for things, and average number of pages per document, 40 pages. So if we were to do this manually, the poor fellow, will be given a folder with over 9,000 PDF files. You have to manually open, search through, and generate a report. But what we have done in our team is that we built up automated solution. We really worked with the legal team to get in the terms they want. We leverage cloud technology like AWS. We use NLP libraries like Spacey, and we generated an automated solution. From these examples, actually, this opened up the doors for us to our business units, because when this was demonstrated, everyone was like, good, now that you can do this, now that I'm interested to see whether can you help me in processing other types of documents. There are other things I would like to get out of files and documents and information, because in all reality, documents and PDF files are still being sent across businesses. It is business requirements, so there is still the need. And from here, I'm just going to quickly show these are 4 different types of documents that we have worked with to a certain degree. First of which is actually a financial statement from LG Chemical. These are public information, anyone can find them. But these are financial statements that are published on a yearly basis. There's quarterly reports as well. But the key information that is required are actually the financial information, the tables and the numbers. But the challenge is always in terms that the formats are not 100% consistent. Typically, a generic way is there's always the current year, financial information from the previous year, but there are companies that gives you up to 2 years behind. And also the terminologies that are being used, they will be related, but not 100% the same. So there are on a high level, when I first looked at it, I thought it was doable, but when you dig in, the devils are in the details because of the way that it's being set up, how it's being presented, things change over years, how company present, and all this information as well. Another way that the documents, they throw us different challenges was actually, if you look at the interim report. So the challenge doubles up or even triple up when you have tables that are in multi-column document. How do you join the tables back together? How do you extract them back together in an accurate manner? And at times there are also subheaders within all these tables, which makes it even more challenging itself. The product highlight sheet that was shown earlier it doubles up as well because it's a hybrid content. There are tables, there are text, there are multi-columns, and these are actually from Schroders' end. Is actually once the information and content is confirmed, it's actually sent to an external party to really help all the layout and everything. So when it comes back, it's a PDF, and it's done up in either Adobe Illustrator or InDesign, etc. But the output from such tools is that it impacts the layout. When you do a Control A, or a search, when you try to copy documents, PDFs that are created this way, it's never accurate. It moves all over the place. And lastly, I think ESG is a popular topic. Everyone is looking to understand it. So I've included the ESG report that's actually from Alibaba. This is their sustainability report, I think 2018 or 2019. Is a very colorful document. It's well designed, it's interesting for humans to read, but trying to do a programmatic or automated way to extract the information out is non-trivial as well. And ESG information for now, even for the market, that I don't think there is a high level of standardization in terms of what's being reported, what's being shared. So it by itself causes a lot of challenges as well from a technical or even research perspective. So last slide, ideal state. We are not suggesting for a generic find all, know all document processor. We are in the financial industries. There are specific elements, specific traits, and by narrowing it down to a financial industry document processor or financial document processor, this gives us a lot more focus on what are the information and types of things that we are looking for, that we hope to be able to extract and understand and retrieve. Because as our team deals with automation, that's our bread and butter. When we have documents that can be accurately and readily processed and extracted, all this data serves as upstream information points for downstream automation. Because currently, a lot of our automation tasks are also restricted by what is available through APIs, data connectors, databases. But when you're dealing with certain business processes or external entities, they will not have this available. And they will say, it's in my report that has been sent to you, find it there. Whether do you want to get a human to type it out and serve it into the downstream processes, that's your part of the game. Our is not, even if there are APIs available, is the data ready as well. So there's all these existing business processes whereby a lot of documents and information are still sent across via documents. And if classic com science statement, garbage in, garbage out, which is why we need a accurate source or accurate manner at which to really extract the data and information from the documents, and from there it serves as downstream processes as well. So with that, I think, Billy, we can move back into the Q&A session.
Okay, thank you very much. It's a very, very fascinating presentation, and I can imagine the amount of 9,000 documents you have to dig through, right, to prepare for this. I'm just kidding. Okay, we're gonna look out for Q&A questions ready. And let's see. Okay, I have one from Vadim Berman. He says, two questions for Ka Leong. Okay, one, could you please name the aspects of Spacey that made you look for a different solution? Is it the special types of entities that you need to extract, terminology, constellation, or something else? And then the second question is, what languages do you need to support?
Okay, so easier question. Let's take the language first. Yeah. So professional documents, let's stick to English. I think that's fine, because that's where all the information are coming from. That's where it's being processed.
So English.
English is fine. That covers 80 to even 90+%. in terms of SPACY, so I mentioned SPACY was used in our LIBOR use case because SPACY is NLP and we used it to help us leverage the lemmatization. That means, for example, when we are working with our legal colleagues, they told us when they gave us the search terms, okay, it included terms like act of God, singular plural. So we leverage libraries like SPACY to handle the variations or lemmatizations of the word rather than having to type them all out. But SPACY is for NLP when you're dealing with the extraction. So for the 4 document types that I shown, the challenge is actually identifying the relationship between the figures and the lines itself, the rows itself, because having an accurate extraction is actually the challenge. It's not so much on NLP side.
Okay, so it's not on the natural language processing side. Okay, got it. NLP. Okay, thank you. Kalang, we have another question. This is from an anonymous attendee. Okay, is there an internal repository with source documents to be assumed tagged for each client account? How standardized are these documents? A very technical question. Yeah.
For each client accounts. So, okay. So if we are talking about the financial statements, it's okay. So financial statements. Okay, maybe a point I missed out, but I just add on as well. So the likes of the data providers from the Bloombergs to the FactSets and Refinitiv, they do have financial information and data, but where we see the challenge is actually in terms from emerging markets or growth markets as well, because that's where the data are sparser, the coverage is lesser, but that's where a lot of activities are because our teams actually do need to analyze and understand the performance or even the modeling of the data from such countries. So by saying tagging from it, I think where I think you are trying to relate to would be more towards machine learning, having a train to train the models against a specific set. Where I see this is that it's going to be challenging in terms of one trying to find out the source to really tag it up as well, because our team, while we cover Singapore, Indonesia, London, and Zurich, we are a very small team. And we one key thing, which is why we leverage the OIP and IMAS partnership in this, is that we do not have the bandwidth to really research and build up a product on our own. That is why we are doing very selected business use cases to solve for the business challenge based on whichever clients that send us more documents. It is a bigger load for the business. That's where we'll go in and solve it. There's a sort of benefits analysis that we work with in order to identify all these which processes and which are the things we should solve for. So where I have heard, or at least discussions with several vendors as well, not going to name them, I think if we go down the ML route, it's possible, but it's going to be a massive effort as well. And it's really, I think I have a certain reservation for it because I think it's a niche. We are looking for a much more narrow AI or dedicated AI solution, if we really want to say it in that way.
Okay, I hope that answered the question for our audience. Okay, Kaliang, you are even more popular than Edmund, I believe. You have more questions coming right now. It's very hot and furious, I must say, fast and furious, I'll say. Okay, but I noticed that most of them are very concerned about the IP ownership of the technology. So actually, may I just do a quick summary and tell people that, inform everyone that actually we do have a FAQ on the Open Innovation platform website, and it does address the IP question. Now, in most cases, I believe that the problem owner will negotiate with the challenge winners, right, on the IP ownership of the prototype or the solution being developed. That's the general gist of it. So I believe you can actually find out more on our openinnovation.sg website. Okay, so I hope that answers the IP questions down the line. You can negotiate with the problem owner if you win the challenge. Yeah. Okay, there's quite a few questions that shall we do a very simple one? Okay, are you open to proprietary technology solutions? Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean,
That's fine.
our team, we are okay. So I came from a vendor space previously.
Mm.
So our team, our main focus is delivering the solution for the business. It doesn't have to be something that we built. We have leveraged open libraries. We have leveraged new algorithms or research results that's public from GitHub, etc. What our goal is always, how well does the solution work? Can it fit our business use case? That means if I send in a document, we can give it certain parameters. Can it extract the information? Is it accurate? And from the information extracted, can we then use it for our downstream processes? So that's why I rather draw a blue box. Maybe a black box would work as well, but I think everyone should understand it.
Okay, that's great. I believe we are almost out of time for Kaleong's session. I know there are a few pretty interesting questions, but we won't be able to take them right now. What I suggest is that we will post them on the OIP webpage forum related to this challenge. And I believe Kaleong's team will be able to go and take a look and help to answer, because they are interested in sourcing for the best possible solutions to evaluate for this challenge, right? So they won't turn away people just because you propose a proprietary solution or you have a unique way of phrasing the problem. I believe Kaleong's team is open enough to explore all possible permutations of a solution, right, Kaleong?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so we're open. We're not going to limit what kind of proposed solution you want to give. Yeah. So with that, I will invite everyone to actually visit the OIP webpage forums for more of these questions and answers after the event is over. Okay. So thank you very much, Kaleong. We have to move on to our next panelist. Thank you for a very enlightening presentation.